Red Hood and the Outlaws, #1, written by Scott Lobdell, art by Kenneth Rockefort. For real this time, I'm not going to waste any time getting into it. So, we open up, Roy Harper, aka Arsenal, is locked up in prison, apparently for just the tiny little crime of war crimes. He tried to overthrow a brutal dictator, and the people, turns out, kind of like the brutal dictator or something. So he's visited by a pastor who's here to give him his last rites. This big, super overweight guy, and he's like, "Oh, this place sucks." And like, yeah, it's kind of, a war prison. So the pastor walks over, gets some privacy with Arsenal. He opens up his book, and inside the Bible is Arsenal's bow. And Arsenal's like, "Are you kidding me? You understand this is crazy, right?" And the pastor's like, "Yeah, I do." He presses a button, his suit opens up, and out pops Jason Todd, Red Hood. And they just fight. They just fight through everybody. They're just killing everyone. Arsenal comments, "Oh, I assume that you have more of a plan than just kill everybody and leave." And Jason neither confirms nor denies. But they get outside. There's a Jeep, you would call it, a military vehicle waiting for them. They're driving through, killing everybody. They're bantering. Dear God, nothing. I'm skipping over it, but since page 1, it's been nothing but banter. When it's Roy on page, Jason is describing him in nothing but banter. First lines: his name is Roy Harper. He's an idiot. Nice guy, but an idiot. And then as soon as Jason pops out of the suit, it switches to Arsenal narrating. And then he's just bantering against Red Hood. The point where I'm saying now that they're bantering is that they start bantering, talking about like how they make a good team, but blah, blah, blah. And then they stop bantering in speech bubbles and start bantering in narration boxes. It's so much banter. Anyway, they're stopped by a whole line of tanks. There's no way they could possibly get through it. Jason says that he has someone for it, and in comes Starfire, who literally just kills everyone. All of them exploded and dead. It's almost a bit gruesome. And she's like, "Is there anything else I can do, Jason?" Jason's like, "Yeah, why don't you go ahead and clear a path ahead first, babe. It's clearly we're on that level." And Roy's a little bit jealous, but cut to 3 weeks later, they're on an island paradise. Starfire's swimming, and there's some little boy, some just like horny little like 8-year-old who's just taking pictures of her while she's swimming. Roy and Jason are chilling out on the beach, and they're just talking about, everything, like the setup. They're expositing a little bit. They're like, "Why aren't you in Gotham, Jason?" And Jason's like, "Gotham sucks." And he's like, "What about Starfire? Does she remember anything about the Teen Titans?" Which, again, Did the reboot happen or not? Because the way that they describe this is that the Teen Titans did happen, which is a problem for all its own reasons. But the whole reason that Starfire apparently doesn't remember them, because she doesn't remember them, as is revealed later, is because she just doesn't really care to. Humans are kind of boring, and she doesn't really remember her teammates that she grew a very strong bond with. Anyway, so this woman shows up. She's dressed all in black, white hair, black eyes. Her name is Essence. She just appears out of nowhere. And apparently Jason's the only one who can, see her. So then we get a scene where Starfire comes over and talks to Roy. And Roy's just trying to gauge, "Hey, you don't remember any of these people? These really important people in your life?" And she's like, "No, I don't. You want to have sex?" And Roy's like, "I thought you were with Jason." He's like, "I'm my own person." And then they go off to have sex on the lines of, "Is there anything I need to know about making love to a Tamaranian?" Quote, "Just that love has nothing to do with it." Ha 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 ha, so good. Anyway, Jason's being contacted by this lady in black because there's been a bunch of murders. Organs are being taken out of people's bodies while they're still alive. She's from the All Cast. Her name is Essence. The All Cast trained Jason. Then he was kicked out. She was also kicked out, but now they want to go back or something. And apparently this can only be the work of the Untitled. Also, their leader, whose name is Dukra, and I think she's just an old woman, is dead. She was murdered by these people. So Jason says that he'll help, because that's what heroes do. Cut to Chicago for apparently no reason. The picture that horny little kid was uploading online of Starfire, some dude sees it and says, "Finally, a Tamaranian on Earth." So that's set up for something. Cut to the bungalow where the bed frame is on fire and they're burned in handprints on Roy's chest. Jason just walks in, grabs his mask, and leaves. He goes to the Himalayas, a short little trip. And he apologizes for not being there for Dukra, and sorry that he left the all cast. When suddenly a bunch of men with knives show up, ready to kill Jason, and he's happy he finally has someone to shoot. Oh my god! I'm so sorry, Starfire fans. I'm so sorry. That's the most I can really say. It looks great, obviously. Rockefort, he nails it. My personal taste, I feel like he goes a little too crazy on the panel layouts during action scenes. It's just like, it's crazy for no particular reason. I know it gives a sense of like urgency, but like there's a 2-page spread here of like 4 panels, and at least half the page is just unused space because it just how crazy the panels had to be. I don't know. I'd rather have more info per page. That way it's not feeling so super decompressed. But anyway, in terms of writing, dear God, if you're okay with the banter, then that takes up about 50% of it. The rest of it, I'm going to give this a 6. Because it does... No, you know what? I'm bringing it down to a 5 because I forgot about the Starfire forgetting everything. Now it's a 5. Just... I don't like it when they don't keep... It's one editorial mandate. Stuff didn't happen or stuff did happen. I know it's a bit confusing at this point, but dear God, I feel like Scott just wasn't listening. He already was just thinking about, oh man, I got this great sex joke I'm going to set up. So yeah, 5. It's... Blah.